Welcome both. Hugo, we're
Hello.
going to start with you. Front page of the Times.
Yes. What? This is the Rwanda
Sunak
Rebellion.
Rebellion.
What a joke this story is. How ridiculous this story is. Look, you've got a Prime Minister with a flagship policy. Why it's his flagship policy, who knows? There's huge amounts of legal immigration that the government can control. They've decided to focus on the bit they can't control. Nonetheless, it's his flagship policy. He can't get it through, probably, possibly. What's the point of a Prime Minister who can't get their own flagship policy through? And the reason why he can't get it through is a rebellion by exactly the people it's designed to appeal to, which is the right of his own party, who I think sort of want something quite... I mean, I think the whole Rwanda policy is quite malign and insane, but they want something even more malign and insane. They basically want to remove any right of appeal for someone being deported from this country, is pretty much what they're arguing about. There's always been some kind of right of appeal. Any right of appeal is too much for the rebels in his party. And so what they've done... it's just sort of, it slightly boggles me what Rishi Sunak has managed to do is, in a bid to show himself to be effective and hard and muscular on immigration, he's now, while going further on immigration than pretty much any other government ever has, showing himself to be the opposite because he's being attacked by the exact people he's trying to appeal to. And it's all sort of blowing up in his face. I think it's farcical.
Reem?
Yeah, it's particularly interesting the way in which this is played within the Conservative Party itself. You've got MPs like Mark Francois who are saying that Margaret Thatcher wouldn't have stood for this, that, you know, this legislation isn't watertight enough. By watertight, what they mean, let's be clear about this, is removing the right to appeal. Now, whatever your view on immigration is, whatever your view on the Rwanda policy itself is, you cannot be deporting people without the right to appeal. That's something that we're talking about justice, we're talking about liberty in this country. We cannot allow people to be deported from this country without giving them the sort of moral right to appeal.
You said it there, Hugo. I mean, I've said it for days. I'm absolutely astonished that this man who was supposed to come in and, you know, after the debacle of Johnson, he was going to talk about being straight and honest and decent and thoughtful, gave Gavin Williamson a job straight away. Bizarre. And has actually, to me, unless I'm missing the point, is floundering. I'm amazed that he's nailed his colours to this. I'm frankly... He's worse off than under Liz Truss, the Tory party. That's frightening.
It's an unforced error. There's a lot going on in the world. There's two wars, there's spiralling costs, there's inflation, all this stuff that he can't do anything about. Here's another problem that he's just gone, no, let's have this problem instead. And and even if you want the focus to be on immigration, a lot of people are concerned about immigration. Even there, you've got, what, 700,000 is the figure for legal immigration, and the figure for illegal immigration, let alone boats, is down in the tens of thousands. Why you focus on the bit that explicitly, by definition, is the bit you can't control?
And also, we're hitting winter now. It's unlikely that as many people will be coming across in boats anyway for another, 5 months until it gets a bit warmer.
Yeah, I think Hugo makes a really excellent point here. The fact of the matter is, this is going to take, what, a couple hundred people on a flight, maybe, if these flights are even lifted. And how much is it costing, A? But B, this is a drop in the water when you're talking about the wider immigration issue. Now, I do think that immigration is an important issue to be talking about. We saw with the ONS figures very recently that net migration 2022 was about 745,000. Now, I do think that is unsustainable. But as we've been saying, this Rwanda policy only handles illegal immigration. We need to be having a wider conversation about the legal system.
It's interesting as well. You know, I look at Cleverly, who patently didn't want the job. He was happy in the Home Office. There's a centre, isn't there? We sent Nicola there the other week inside his constituency. He doesn't even look like he believes in it.
Oh, I mean, he described the Rwanda policy in terms that I'm not sure we can use at this time in the morning on
you can do it once,
media.
But...
I'll let you do it.
Trying to get us thrown out of here and the Christmas party.
He obviously doesn't believe in it, but they've just sort of blundered into it.
Do you think this has shown the British people? I know many people would say 13 years, that they're tired, they're past it, they're arguing amongst themselves. I think this has shown Rishi Sunak's shortcomings massively.
I think it's sort of worse than that. Look, this is a policy that emerged from Priti Patel and then Suella Braverman.
Then change it if you're not happy with it.
That's precisely it.
Show that you're a leader.
If you have wobbly, weird, erratic, extremist people in your government, then you're going to end up with wobbly, weird, erratic, extremist policies. And once they've gone, which they inevitably always will go, you're going to be left with that policy, and you're either going to have to admit that you made a mistake in the first place, or you're going to have to stick with it.
Reem, is it all over for the Tory government?
Well, there is an element of the fact that many MPs within the Conservative Party are now wanting to come across as more hardline on immigration than the next person. And so that's why you get these kind of crazy, I mean, it really is crazy commentary we're hearing from people like Mark Francois that are saying that we shouldn't have any right to appeal at all. I mean, it really is pretty malicious stuff. I do think, and I do suspect, that this will be the make or break for Rishi Sunak if this legislation isn't passed today in Parliament.
Be gone by Easter.
I do
Tory
think
party
that'll
are
be
more.
the case.
They eat themselves, mate. Did you not think, Hugo? I think they'll destroy it themselves and will not be in power for 10 years because of the way they just. I don't understand. It's beyond me.
I mean,
an 80-seat majority 4 years ago today.
Yeah, but they keep blowing themselves up. They keep they keep deciding they're a different party to the one they were before. They keep saying we're not responsible for things that happened 6 months ago because we've got rid of everybody since then.
Well, that's just it. I mean, we just saw during the leadership election last year 2 very different definitions of what conservatism means. You had Liz Truss, who was arguing that the size of the state was too large, that taxes were too high, that we had to build more. And then we had Rishi Sunak come in and actually say, hold on a minute, we've got to slow down. He was rejected by his own party members. I do think there's a little bit of an insecurity here.
Well, I said this yesterday. Whether people like this or not, the 3 top positions in the Tory government are filled by 3 people. A Prime Minister has not got a mandate, and the other 2 were Remainers. Now, whatever you think about Brexit, they were not for what this mandate was given by the British people for. It's a farce.
There was the point at the weekend where I was reading that party insiders are talking about bringing back David Cameron as a caretaker Prime Minister. It's like, come on.
Yeah, leave it out.
No, Farage and Johnson, that's next.